Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Savvy Crafts with Savannah. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and if you're back, you notice that I changed my YouTube name. I just feel like Savvy Crafts with Savannah is a little more personal. It has my first name in it. Not a lot of people know that Nicholas is my last name, so I just thought this was really cute, and so I decided to go with that. So that is what you will see and hear from here on out. So we are getting ready to head out to our family's lake house for a week. So unfortunately, I won't be able to make any videos for about a week because I don't have my stuff there. So I wanted to go ahead and put out 2 videos this week. That way you guys have some more DIYs that you can do at home yourself. Now these are Dollar Tree and Dollar General DIYs. Super simple. Some of them are fall and some of them are not. So let me know what you guys think. I love hearing your feedback and all your comments. It really does just mean the world to me. So with that being said, be sure to subscribe if you already aren't, and go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you are notified anytime I upload a new video. So we have a little visitor today. If you're new to my channel, this is my youngest son. This is AJ. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? And he is ready to jump into our first DIY.
So for our first DIY, you're gonna need one of these signs from Dollar General. I got this for $4, and it's really cute. It doesn't really match my decor in my house. And then I have this leftover wallpaper, which it really doesn't make a difference in this craft. I originally was gonna do something different, but it really didn't end up working out how I wanted it to. And then you're gonna need a galvanized pumpkin from our garland like we had in a previous video. I still had some left over that I grabbed from Walmart, which I'll put in the description down below if I can find them. And then just some letters, whatever color you like. I snagged these from Dollar General and they ended up working just fine for this. Next, like I said, this part is kind of pointless. You really don't have to do this. I said I was going to originally do something different and it ended up not working out how I wanted to. So you can totally skip this step and go straight to laying your letters, but you'll see me doing this because, like I said, I originally planned on doing something different. Next, you're going to lay your letters. I decided to do our patch. So I put R at the top, and then I sound like a pirate, our at the top, and then patch at the bottom. And then I just gave it a really nice coat of this black paint from Walmart, and it ended up needing a few coats, so you'll see me doing that here. Once you have a good coat of your black paint over your words and your canvas, you're gonna wanna take some white Waverly chalk paint. And I'm sorry this is out of focus. I could have swore it was in the lens. And I just kind of just stressed it a little bit just to kind of make it look like a dirty little chalkboard. And then I took some sandpaper. This is from Dollar Tree. And I just kind of started sanding over the letters to give them like this little distress kind of look. I did go over the whole canvas just to kind of give it that scratchy, rustic kind of chalkboard look. And then I placed it back into the frame and I hot glued that together. Next, you're gonna take your galvanized pumpkin and kind of lay it where you want. And then I also have this cute little raffia bow that came off another project of mine that I saved. And I just hot glued the galvanized pumpkin in the middle where I wanted it. And then I hot glued this cute little raffia bow at the top. Next, I did have some of this greenery from Walmart that I snagged a couple of months ago. And I don't like the yellow parts in it, but I did like the leaves and stuff. So I grabbed a couple of those because I believe they were like 99 cents. And then I started pulling off the cute little leaves. I pulled 4 off, and I'm just kind of laying them like so until I get them in a cute little position that I like. And then I hot glued 2 sides together, the other 2 sides together, and then I hot glued the middle together, and then I wrapped it in some twine just to give the middle kind of a more classy look. That way it doesn't look thrown together, and it kind of hides where we hot glued everything together. And then I am going to hot glue that on the top of our sign. By the way, these cute little pink finger protectors I found at Dollar Tree a few days ago, and I'm constantly burning myself when I'm using my glue gun, and they have worked perfectly to protect my fingers from the hot glue, and I can actually touch it and press down where I need to. And they were $1 and 3 came in the pack. So I am forever loving this Dollar Tree find. Okay, for our next craft, you're gonna grab these boards from Dollar Tree and the little square cubes out of the crafter section. And then you're gonna want your white Waverly chalk paint or whatever color you want. We are gonna make these into little stands to give a little bit of height dimension in my house or your house. And then you're gonna need the Dollar Tree spackle. Now that part is optional. I just didn't want any cracks once I glued the little squares together. I wanted it to look like it was one stand that they're gonna be sitting on. So if you're doing 2 stands, you're gonna need 8 stands after. So you're gonna need 16 of the little squares, and then you'll need 8 afterwards. So 4 on each stand. I don't know if that's confusing, but you'll see what I'm doing. Also, for any of you crafters that have ever used this spackle, I just use my fingers, and this spackle was like oddly satisfying. I don't know if maybe it's just me and I'm weird, but it felt really good on my fingers. So yeah, you're just gonna wanna spackle inside of the cracks of the squares and then wait for that to dry. Once those are dry, you're gonna take your Dollar Tree sandpaper and just sand down all the edges and sides. That way it's a nice smooth surface for when we paint it. And then I also did spackle in these holes on this one board just because I didn't want any holes in it. I wanted it a flat surface, so it looked like I bought it this way. And while that is drying, you're gonna go ahead and grab the oval one, and we're gonna start hot gluing the little square stands on the bottom. And you can do one on one side and 1 on the other, or you can do like me and do 2 on one side and 2 on the other. I just decided to do 4 because I felt like it would make it a little more sturdier. Next, you're going to want to take your white Waverly chalk paint, or like I said earlier, whatever color you prefer. I just like painting everything white and distressing it. I honestly should probably start painting some of my crafts different colors because I feel like everything I do is white. But you just want to give it a really good coat and cover. Honestly, it really doesn't matter if you can kind of see through a little bit, because I kind of like the way it looks with a little bit of the wood showing through. It kind of gives it a more rustic look. So I didn't really worry too much about covering it perfectly. And then you're gonna do the bottom once that dries, and I did go back over the top one more time. And now you're just gonna repeat the steps with this other stand. Now, like I said, you can do whatever color you want. You can do one color, one the other color. But again, I just like painting everything white. Once they are both covered how you want, go ahead and take your dry brush or your chip brush, and I dipped it in a little bit of the black paint from Walmart, and I just started going on the sides and on the stands and in the middle, and just however distressed you like your stuff. I just like a little bit of distressing, and then I do like to go heavy on some spots, lighter on the others. So you're going to do that to both of them, and then touch up any spots that you need to. And that is it. I love how these turned out. I cannot wait to show you how I style them at the end of the video. So here's our little risers. I styled them 3 different ways just to give you an idea. Loved how these turned out. These are super simple and really cute way to give your decor height dimension. Okay, so a lot of crafters do these. This is my take on the books, the Farmhouse stacked books with writing on them. I usually buy the paperback books. I'm not sure why I bought the hardback books this time, but you're just going to go ahead and rip off the whole cover itself, even if it is a paperback, and just make sure that you get off all the sticky stuff. And I like my books this way because they just look very vintage, like you found them at a thrift store. If I was doing this again, I would go back and probably use some brown paint and kind of just distress it a little bit more. But since you can still kind of see where the glue was on the back of this book, I went ahead and took my white Waverly chalk paint. And you don't have to give it a good coat, just a good enough base to where we can write our words. And then you're going to repeat this step with your other book. Now this book had a little bit of drawings on the inside, which is super fine. Flip to a page that you want your top or your cover to be, and just rip out those pages too. Not a big deal. And like I said, just continue the same step with your white Waverly chalk paint, and then we'll move on to our words. I just love how these look without a cover. I know people like to put like brown paper on theirs, but I just love the vintage look it gives when you rip the backs off. So next I'm going in with my black paint pen, and I'm going to be writing Hello Pumpkin. I have a few of these over my house. I have one that have my kids' names on them. You can use these for anything, and they're just a cute little decorative item just sitting on a table somewhere. So like I said, you can write whatever you want, but the books are only $1, so I like to have a stack for each season. And this is gonna be my fall stack. So like I said, I'm writing Hello Pumpkin. I do have letter stamps somewhere that kind of look really cool too, but I have no idea where they are. So you can use whatever you want, a paint pen, stickers, a stencil, whatever you like. And like I said, you can put whatever you want on there. Next, I'm just taking the leftover paint that was left over on my brush, and I'm kind of just going over those words just to give them like a distressed old kind of book look. And then I kind of smear it with my fingers. And then we're gonna take some jute or twine or raffia, whatever you want to use. I'm using jute, and we're gonna use that and tie a little bow around our books. Then I'm just laying some greenery in the middle. You can do whatever you want. If you want to do, like fall flowers, which I might go back and add, but I just love greenery in honestly anything. It's my go-to. So I ended up just leaving it like that. But I love how these came out. They're super simple, super easy, a really cute little decorative tool just to throw on a table. And yes, I love these. I end up putting a pumpkin on, which you'll see at the end. Love, love, love these book stacks. And here they are on my mantle. I added a little pumpkin on top. I love how these always turn out. This isn't my first time doing them, and I'm glad I finally got to share my take on them. Okay, for this next project, you're gonna need one of these little fall Dollar Tree tag signs. And I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you guys. I had something completely different in mind when I started this project. I'm gonna be honest, it's not my favorite, but I went ahead and just wanted to show you guys because it is a cute, maybe not for fall, maybe for Halloween, just because I was going for buffalo check, and you'll see it kind of ended up as more of a checkered. But you're just going to want to give it a couple coats of your white Waverly chalk paint, and just make sure that you're covering everything up and let it dry, and then give it a second coat. So while that's drying, we're taking this same stem that we used in our first DIY and just ripping off a bunch of the little green flower, leaves. And I took some of those off too, but I ended up not using them. So we're gonna end up using this to make a wreath in the middle of this tag. Next, you're going to want to take some of your purple, well, I guess any color painter's tape. And I start by making lines vertically. And I didn't really measure, I just kind of eyeballed it. And so once you have them all vertically, then you're going to go down horizontally, kind of like making a checkerboard. Like I said, I was going for buffalo check, and it ended up not being buffalo check, which you'll see towards the end, but it still turned out pretty cute. But I will, like I said, I'm gonna be honest, it's not my favorite. So you guys have to let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Do you like how it turned out? Do you think I should have done something different? Love your feedback. So just let me know what you think. So once you have it all taped off, you're going to want to go down, and you'll see me here trying to like strategize how I should paint it to make it end up buffalo check, which did not work. But I ended up going through and painting every white square black. And once you're done with that, you'll rip the tape off. And what I'm noticing as I am voicing over this video is my tape is actually already in buffalo check pattern. Why that wasn't clicking when I was doing this project, I will never know, but just look at it, it's already in buffalo check. Why didn't I just follow the tape? So once you get all the squares painted black, and I know you saw me hold up the gray paint, the elephant color of Waverly. I was going to do that originally, but then I decided not to. So once all your squares are painted black, you're going to rip all your tape off, and then you're going to tape back over it where you just painted. So you would tape over where the black squares are this time, each way, if that makes any sense. Just, I'm gonna let the video play out so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So what I should have done if I was gonna make it buffalo check, and now that I'm watching, I can kind of see, instead of taping over where those black squares are, I should have painted the light gray in between each one of those black squares, vertically and horizontally, and that would have been buffalo check, which I was in a hurry, it was late, so I was really trying to finish this project, and I just went too fast, but it didn't end up coming out okay, and it's cute for Halloween. Once you gave all the other squares a coat in the elephant gray, here comes the big reveal. And let me just go ahead and tell you, I was like, what did I do wrong? So then I just end up taking some sandpaper and just sanding it down to kind of give it a rustic kind of look, and try to fix my mistakes a little bit and kind of smear the gray into some spots. But that's what I'm doing here. That's optional. It's up to you guys. But that is what I did decide to do. And then I end up using the cover of our other DIY book to try to make some straight lines, to try to give this little sign some more detail as if it didn't already have enough. So I'm just doing 2 small lines vertically, and then I do 2 horizontally at the bottom. And sorry, the camera keeps going out of focus. I believe my 2-year-old was there at that time bumping the table. So if you do see the camera move, that is the culprit. So next we're going to start putting it all together. I'm using this flower pot to draw a circle, just a little outline. You can use whatever you want. You could use the painter's tape roll, whichever, however big you want your wreath to be, and just draw a little circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to be using this welcome sign from Dollar Tree. It came in a pack of 3 things. And I just love this and haven't had a chance to use these little words yet. And then I'm just going to take some more jute and put that back in the top of the tag so that we do have something to hang it with. Next, I'm going to take these little stems and I'm just going to start laying them in a little circular motion until I get them a shape that I like. And then I'm going to go through and hot glue all of them on. And then I just said, forget it. I am just going to freehand or free glue that wreath. And then I'm going to hot glue the welcome sign on. And then I'm going to move back to the wreath and just go ahead and just glue those on. And then once I got my circular shape with my wreath, I just went through and just tucked a couple more pieces in just to give it a little more thickness and to hide the sign in the background. And it slowly came together, and I slowly didn't hate this craft. And it started looking cute, and it really will be cute for Halloween. Next, I'm taking some of this burlap ribbon, and I'm gonna make a bow. And then I also take some like a burnt orange kind of color, which you'll see me grab in a second. There it is. And I'm gonna intertwine these two together just to give this a cute little bow at the top and just a little more detail. And I decided to go with the burnt orange because once I finished, I was kind of like, okay, black and white checkered board is kind of in Halloween. So that's why I ended up going with those colors. And then I took some twine as well, and I just laid them in a little X and tied this bow together. Last but not least, we are going to hot glue this cute little bow at the top of our wreath. And here is the final product. Like I said, not my favorite, and I really do want your guys' honest opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching again. Be sure to subscribe, like, and turn that bell notification on, and we'll see you next time.